What kinds of strategies could we develop to enhance the life prospects of vulnerable young children who are not adequately served by existing services? So we start with what we have. I'm not talking about wiping the slate clean and beginning all over again. We start with what we have. So basically, we've identified two goals that need to be addressed. One is reducing barriers to learning. So this is the flip side of enhancing learning. This is reducing barriers to learning. And the other is building foundations of health. I will say, as a pediatrician, I'm ready to get up on the soapbox on this one. You know, early childhood policy and programs in this country are an education issue. They're about school readiness. They're about improving educational outcomes, which is right. Absolutely right, but only half the story. Actually, even less than half the story. And you could finish the paragraph for me now. This is as much about promoting lifelong health and preventing disease as it is about promoting literacy, right? Because if we understand the science, the roots of disruption of learning are also the same roots, just move south from the brain to the cardiovascular system, or move out to the immune system, or move down to the pancreas and get into some of the metabolic regulatory systems, and it's as much about disease prevention. And so the way we think of it now, we think of this is an education issue, this is in the education budget, and we say, oh, but health is important, so let's make sure the kids have a doctor. Let's make sure their immunizations are up to date. Let's make sure they get screening for health problems. You will never find a pediatrician get up in front of you and say that well child care is unnecessary. Okay? But what I am saying is the science says that solving the health problems facing many children in this country cannot be done in the doctor's office alone. And it's not going to be done in the hospital. It has to do with much broader issues. If we put the early childhood health lens and development lens in each of these areas, we could ask the question of, well, what is this doing to strengthen relationships or undermine relationships? What is this doing to make the environment healthier or make it less healthy? So it's a very simple logic model. It starts with policies and programs, and by the way, it includes the private sector as well, and it includes communities. This is not just about government programs. You do not need a law for a workplace to decide that it's going to provide some kind of paid leave after someone has a baby. Okay? You don't need a law to tell a workplace that it will allow a parent some time off to take a kid for a doctor's appointment or go see a play at a preschool program and not lose a half a day of pay. You don't need laws to do that. So this is not just about government. This is about the workplace, and it's about communities. Communities don't have to be ordered to provide supports for families. They can do it on their own. So it's a very simple logic model. The levers, the policy and program levers, work not because they raise children. They work because they build caregiver and community capacities, which then build the foundations that make for more biological adaptations that result in healthy development throughout the lifespan. So the question is, what could we do differently? We have to be more explicit about step two. What explains the link between adversity and poor outcomes? What explains programs that succeed and differentiates them from programs that don't? And my message to you this evening is that science has more to offer now than political partisanship and ideology. Okay? I mean, we're really not going to make any step forward from where we are by arguing about political values. Okay? Nor should we pretend that that doesn't matter. Obviously, it matters in terms of what people are going to do. But if we start with a political argument, we end with a political argument, and we never get to the questions of what could we be doing better that we would all benefit from. And that's kind of where I think the science has a role to play.